this area anywhere to the northwest. We see Vic, we see LA Highway 1, Marksville. You want to be getting into your safe space. That is the location of the tornado. We had it confirmed on the ground. If we get any imagery of it, we will be able to let you see that. But for now, watching it very closely. Again, so we can see a zoomed out view. If you can see it, it would be incredibly rain wrapped in this storm, producing heavy rainfall right in that center hook of it. So here is that larger view of the warning. The pink area is where it's confirmed. It's buried beneath a severe thunderstorm warning. So not only a confirmed tornado on the ground, but strong winds, maybe even some hail in this as well. So if you are in this area, you want to be taking cover now. Pulling it up on radar, still having that tight rotation, not weakening currently, still holding its strength. We see those bright colors. I'll move the camera a little bit so we can see a better view of where it's going to be going. That way we can give you a heads up in these areas of where you should be prepared as it moves. You can see it'll be moving right over Marksville, if not just north of it. So here is the path of that. It is going to continue moving in this direction. So anyone within these polygon areas, this is a confirmed tornado on the ground. That is why we have been cutting in. If you're just joining us, we may repeat ourselves a few times, but we want you to be weather aware. Know that this is an active and ongoing situation with a reported confirmation of tornado on the ground. You see that passing right now right over 5th Ward. If you're in this area, be in your safe space. Do not come out right now. Vic, you have time to get into a safe spot south of Center Point. You want to be there as well. Marksville, it's very close near you. You're also under a severe thunderstorm warning at the same time. So very intense storm with a confirmed tornado on the ground. We'll be watching to see if that shows any signs of weakening. And I'll show you that view again of that more zoomed out look of where it's going. You can see it's going to be moving into its neighboring parishes, and it's also moving fast. So you want to act now if you're within that northeasterly path of the storm. Anywhere in this direction, it's moving quickly with that tornado on the ground. These storms are moving pretty fast. So let's get another view of where it is. Looks like with these next few scans, maybe weakening a bit. I can check the chat, see what they're saying with National Weather Service's colors. Not as bright as they were, but it is a confirmed tornado on the ground from a warning that we had that was active. Ian, do you have anything on the camera? I also have Ian here with me, so we're doing team coverage. If you see anything on camera, Ian.
Right now, we'll kind of have the camera, at least in Marksville at the Paragon Casino. Looking a little bit more towards the west-northwest there. Nothing on the camera right now. You kind of see a lot of lightning off in the distance, kind of associated with that storm. If we do see a tornado on the ground, it's the kind of angle we'll see it at, looking out at the Paragon Casino there, looking to the west and northwest. Kind of out there in Avoyles Parish. It was confirmed on the ground, got reported out in Cheneyville. That's what prompted this tornado warning, was somebody did see a tornado on the ground out near the Cheneyville community. It's out there in Rapides Parish. It's been moving, I mentioned before, very quickly into Avoyles Parish. This won't hit the city of Marksville, but just to the northwest of Marksville is what the area we'll be watching very shortly. A ton of lightning on these storms. I really don't want to be out trying to view this at all. A lot of lightning, a very dangerous situation as this will continue to work its way across Avoyles Parish there and eventually into areas of Catahoula and Concordia Parish down the lines. If you do live in Catahoula, Concordia Parish, that's something you want to keep an eye on. But if you live in Marksville or to the northwest of Marksville, near that Egg Bend community as well, just something you want to keep an eye on there in Avoyles Parish. So along with the lightning, with the storm, which that tornado warning was confirmed on the ground. Not sure if it's still on the ground now, but you want to take no precautions there as it works its way to the northwest of Marksville. And then looking at velocity, it's a very strong system moving through the area. We had an eye on this storm really since it's been in Evangeline Parish, and now it's just now prompted that tornado warning. And Joby, I don't know if you got any other updates there for the National Weather Service there in Lake Charles.
Thank you, Ian. Yeah, so they actually did confirm that it was the Cheneyville Police Department that spotted this and then called it in and reported it. So very credible source. We're going to watch it until that potentially comes down. We'll be staying with you. Now notice the colors, those reds and greens kind of spreading further apart from one another, getting a little bit duller in color, which is hopefully a sign that it's weakening, but we don't take that radar for truth. We stay here until that warning would be set to expire, until we get an update, because this is pretty significant storm. This would be probably a high precipitation supercell. Supercells are most prominent for forming these tornadoes. So again, that Marksville area, anywhere to the northeast of this. So you see LA 453 if you're traveling. You want to be weather aware on the roads. Note that that is a confirmed tornado on the ground, specifically here on your screen in this area. It was passing the 5th ward. Takes a few scans to get that updated location. Storm's moving relatively fast, and I can actually pull up that track to show you where it will be going, and so that you can be prepared as it heads further. You see LA 910 on your screen, LA 124. So it's going to be moving in that area. Another aspect of this is it's getting towards the edge of the area in which the radar can really see. If you see those purple circles, that's about as far out as that can go. So it's also hard to catch exactly what's happening on the ground. So these areas within this polygon are the people that need to be in your safe space. So if you're just joining us, we've cut in. We're doing storm coverage because there's an active tornado warning starting Rapides Parish. It's going to move into Avoyelles Parish, and it's in Avoyelles Parish now, and you see that it was passing just north of Marksville. Typically, it's located right in that center hook portion of the storm, so it's under 2 warnings, both a severe thunderstorm warning and a tornado warning that's been confirmed. So this is a tornado that has been confirmed on the ground by Cheneyville Police Department. They reported it, and we were able to get that warning out there to let you guys know, give you a heads up to be in your safe space. If you're anywhere within this polygon, anywhere northeast of these areas, the storm's moving very fast, has lots of speed with it. So you still have time to take cover, and you don't want to go out of your safe space until it expires, and we can check on that. It looks like it is going to last at least until 6 p.m. It's been observed. Hail is possible just below an inch, so you want to be incredibly aware and prepared for this, and you want to be in your safe space. I'll actually circle here for you where that's located, and you can see it just here. That is the location of where that tornado is. Anywhere in this area, if you are south of it, west of it, you're okay, but anywhere that is northward or eastward, you want to be prepared because it's going to be traveling in that direction. And Ian, if you can give us a view, possibly while I check a couple more radars to see if we can get a better view of this, I'll let you go ahead and do that.
Yes, thanks, Joe. We're looking out from our Marksville camera out there at the Paragon Casino. Got a little bit more darker skies now, kind of looking off to the west-northwest. So this will be looking kind of at that circulation as it continues to work its way across the northwestern portion of Avoyelles Parish near the communities of Vic. That might head to your safe spot, as this was a confirmed tornado near the Cheneyville community by the Cheneyville police. Now, if it's still on the ground, it's yet to be certain. We want to take all the extra precautions when we can. I mentioned before, we're kind of looking out at that storm. Don't see anything off the distance right now. The trees do kind of prevent a good clearing on that. We can kind of see the outline of that storm off on the horizon there. So we'll keep looking at this picture down the line, see if we get anything updated. But right now, though, at least nothing confirmed, at least by our Marksville camera. We can bring this full screen, can get a little bit of a better view on that camera as well. As I mentioned before, we're looking off to the northwest there, off in Avoyelles Parish. The circulation is now left Rapides Parish. It's now specifically just in Avoyelles Parish there. The storm is continuing to kind of work its way to the northwest across areas of Avoyelles Parish into Catahoula and Concordia Parish as well. So we're going to take a little bit, zoom in on this storm here. A lot of lightning with the storm, as I mentioned before, out there in Avoyelles Parish. Near the communities, we're going to go up one more. Near the communities of 5th Ward there, we've been dealing with that lightning for the last few minutes here. Now we're going to go a little bit closer on that location there. Mentioned before, near Marksville. It's also going near Louisiana Highway 107 there in Marksville as well. This won't hit the city of Marksville. This will be going just to the northwest there. But you mentioned that little bit of that hook in between Marksville and 5th Ward. That's what we're going to be watching very closely as well. So that little bit of a hooking feature is kind of what we've been kind of watching for. This is where the area of circulation would be. This is where our tornado would be if it's still on the ground there, heading into areas of Louisiana Highway 1 and Louisiana Highway 107 there to the northwest of Marksville. This will be going into the very northern portion of Avoyelles Parish if it's still on the ground. So I want to make sure you go ahead to your safe location. But if you do live in the city of Marksville, I do think this will be moving just to the northwest of your location. But you want to make sure you head to your safe spot just in case. These storms can deviate down the line. So I want to make sure if you're in the polygon for a tornado warning, I want to make sure you're in your safe location until at least 6 p.m. when this warning will be allowed to expire. But even without that, we still got that severe thunderstorm thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-per-hour winds and maybe another tornado down the line. And Joby, I don't know if you got any more updates there for the National Weather Service in Lake Charles.
Yeah, Ian, we have a couple. We have reports of flooding on Highway 394 between mile markers 7 and 11, still passable, but they are recommending avoiding travel. And let's see, I can move this a little bit. If we look at a different radar, we get somewhat of a better view of where that is using the Fort Polk radar. So it's moving, it's just here, just on top of Marksville right now. So anybody in Marksville, you want to be in your safe space. If you know somebody in these locations, text them, let them know that they are under the that they're under this tornado warning. It's never hurtful to get a secondary way of being warned. So just in this area where these two colors mesh together, that is that tornado signature that we're looking at. In fact, we can check and see if it's picked up any debris to give us an idea if it's potentially still on the ground, and we can look at that to see any signs. Looks like nothing too clear, but watching it incredibly closely. So it's moving very fast, and it is still being allowed to continue, and you can see that. So if you are in areas that are going to be to the northeast of this, near LA 124, LA 129, it's heading that way. It's still holding itself together. So Jonesville, Natchez, south of Gina seems to be okay for now. It is moving. I'll actually draw out for you the direction that you can kind of anticipate it to go. It's going to be moving in this type of directional component. So you want to be in your safe place until this is over. We'll let you know as soon as they do allow this to expire, but until then, we're going to be on the air with you guys. So when we have these situations, you want to go into the innermost portion of your home. You want to be in the bottom floor of your home as safe as possible, because we have that confirmed tornado on the ground, and it is moving right now just north of Marksville. So we are watching that with you guys. It looks like it may be holding together. Honestly, it doesn't look like it's specifically strengthening or weak. Well, look at that. It looks like maybe a little bit of weakening. Look at that green coloring, not as bright as it was, not so closely paired up with that red. That gives us an idea that rotation might be weakening. It was reported and confirmed on the ground. Sometimes they lift, they weaken a little bit, and then they come right back. So we're going to continue to watch it until that warning expires. They're not going to let that go until they know for sure that it is completely weakened out and dissipated and lifted. But there are signs that it is weakening just a tad bit, but we're going to watch it closely. Sometimes they reform and retighten that circulation, but it's right located just north of Marksville, moving pretty quickly to the northeast. So anywhere further along the path, sometimes as they are able to regain their strength, they're able to recycle. You want to be aware. So that Natchez area, you want to be aware that that tornadic potential is heading your way. We talked about these superstorms having this potential. We had been watching this one. It wasn't very strong at first. I'm going to go ahead and check, see if they've said anything about it. Let's see. Nope, nothing yet. We are just checking on the weather that we can see. We have the National Weather Service chat where they give us updates as we watch these things develop. So currently, cutting in on air because of this active tornado warning. Not just radar indicated, this has been spotted by the Cheneyville Police Department. It was confirmed, so we know that this was a tornado on the ground, currently located north of Marksville. Now, these radar signatures take a little while to get here, so sometimes it's a bit further down the path than what we're seeing because the radar has to scan. In fact, we have a pretty good view of the potential area of the storm. We'll let you go ahead and take a look at that.
Yeah, thanks, Joe. We have an eye on the storm looking out from the Paragon Casino camera off there in Avoyelles Parish. You kind of see off of this a little bit of the wall cloud that's where that rotation is. Hard to tell if they're still on the ground or not. A lot of it thinks that trees kind of on the roadway, but you kind of see off of this though that darker cloud coverage. It is our wall cloud, kind of our shelf cloud as well. We've been keeping an eye on this to the northwest of the Paragon Casino, to the northwest there of Marksville. This will be heading, I mentioned before, into the northern portions of Avoyelles Parish. But this is kind of our best shot we have of that storm that got tornado warned there, at least for until 6 p.m. this evening. Now, if they do extend that warning, is yet to be seen. If they do extend it, that'll be the Jackson office there in Mississippi for areas of Catahoula and Concordia Parish. But this is the outline of that storm there off at the Paragon Casino, looking to the northwest there as well. So as we keep an eye on this storm out there in Avoyelles Parish, mentioned there's a ton of lightning with the storm that's moving there in Avoyelles Parish. So not very safe to go out try and view this. You're not going to be able to see it anyways, because if it is a tornado on the ground, it'll likely be rain wrapped. It will be hard to tell to begin with. A ton of lightning I mentioned before the storm, and that main line of storms moving into the Alexandria area now. So you may hear a lot of lightning and thunder in downtown Alexandria and into pretty much all of Rapides Parish, dealing with that lightning as it treks off to the east and northeast. But our main eye is on that storm there off in Marksville as moving its way to the northeast, I should say, into areas of Catahoula and Concordia Parish. But Joe, I don't know if you got any other updates there from the National Weather Service if they're going to extend this warning or not at 6 p.m.
Yeah, they haven't said one way or another. They did say that Avoyelles Parish hasn't reported any damage yet. Sometimes these look worse than they are on radar and don't produce much damage. Maybe they're just an EF0, but still something to take seriously because you don't know. When that purple ring tells us it's pretty outside of radar coverage, which makes it a little bit harder for the radar to pick it up, which might be why we're kind of losing the idea of that couplet there. Just here is where that tornado would be located, though. Now it's about to exit out of that tornado warning area. Like Ian said, that shifts over to another office, so we're going to watch closely to see if Jackson issues another tornado warning, extends it, or decides that it has lifted and lost its circulation. But we're watching it very closely because we'll continue to stay on air as long as that is actively within our parishes. So make sure that you're taking action. This isn't a watch. This is a warning of a confirmed tornado on the ground, and we can check and see if they've given us any updates on whether or not. Let's see if I can get, no, looks like it's not going to let me do that for you guys, but we'll watch it and stay close with it. Let me see if I can go back and get a view of the rain. So within the Marksville area, that storm is not letting up. This is the classic example of what we consider a high precipitation supercell. Typically, you don't see a lot of supercells in Louisiana, but Marksville, you have got one, and it's right in that hook of the cell where that tornado is. So you can see that feature that's somewhat more pointy towards the south end of the storm. That's where you would find that tornado. In fact, the cloud looks pretty eerie. I can see it from here. So it passed near 5th Ward, north of Marksville. It's moving very, very quickly. So you want to be in your safe space because it's moving so fast. You don't have a lot of time to act. You don't want to think about it. You want to get into your safe space. We're going to stay here with you until this is either expired or completely lifted. It looks like Center Point will be okay. It's gone past that. But if you are on LA 124, LA 129 in Jonesville, Natchez, it's going to be headed that way. It's actively still moving very quickly to the northeast. So we can watch and wait for the National Weather Service to give us any updates on what they expect. But the signature, as it becomes outside of that ring of what the radar can see, can only see so far in distance. We're somewhat losing it. So I'm going to see if I can pick up another view, maybe get us a little bit better of an idea of where it is, and check to see if it has picked up any debris with it as well, so we can have a view there. No. Still seems like it is ongoing. So active tornado warning confirmed on the ground. This isn't one that was just radar indicated. Sometimes we see these signatures on the radar and we estimate that there is a tornado there based on certain values, but this one was visually seen by the Cheneyville Police Department, who reported it to the National Weather Service, allowing them to go ahead and put that tornado warning out and active. And we have a view on the camera. The sky's very dark and lots of rain. In fact, if we go back and look at it, the storm, lots of precipitation. So likely, if it is still on the ground, you cannot even see it. In fact, I'll go ahead and let Ian give you a view of what it looks like around that area and show you how misleading the skies can be and how you can accidentally end up in this. You want to get off the roads and stay off of them in the area if at all possible.
Yeah, so we have an eye on that storm, kind of looking to the north now there at the Paragon Casino. A lot of scud clouds kind of underneath that big cloud coverage. It's what come watched out for those wall clouds and stuff like that. It looks like that tornado warning was allowed to expire for Avoyelles Parish, and looks like we have no tornado warnings at the moment. But it is, if you're even going to try and venture out, kind of look at this. It's going to be rain wrapped to begin with. If we do see another tornado warning or two, a lot of rain, a lot of lightning with these storms. So really try to avoid venturing out and driving if you can for the rest of this evening. But a tornado warning, at least for Avoyelles Parish, has been allowed to expire. So we have no active tornado warnings here in central Louisiana. So we're going to send it back to regularly scheduled programming.